Hello everyone and welcome to Action RPG. I'm your host Aaron, and for today's video we're headed to the world of Last Epoch. Mike, one of the senior developers at 11th Hour Games, held his normal Friday Q&A live stream on Twitch, which means I get to bring you Dev Chat 147. As always, Mike answered lots of great questions from the community and gave us some teasers about the September 19th mid-cycle event that is coming. Now, if you haven't heard that news yet, I already made a full video breaking it down, and I will link it at the end of this video. Also, if you follow my channel on Fridays, we play Dev Chat Bingo, and I'm happy to report that we crushed it this week. 6 bingos on our card. 5 were away from having a full blackout. So you all did very, very good. Okay, let's jump into the first question, and I've never heard this before, being able to skip mastery selection, which is honestly a great idea.
Sure, this has been asked before, but any chance that we will be able to defer mastery selection in the future so that we are not forced to select the mastery in order to complete the campaign? So we don't really, I don't think we have any specific plans to do that at the moment. Standard, if you have a suggestion, drop in the suggestions channel. But if, excuse me, if you really want to do this and you're playing online, you can just have someone else go to the other side of that decision and portal you there, and you never have to select it. So you can't, or jump ahead as far as you want. So you can kind of do this already in online. As far as offline goes, I mean, you can, it's offline. There's a lot less rules.
I actually think it's a great idea so that if you want to explore the class a little more, because the decision is so early, that you can push it back towards later and then decide when you want. Great idea. Now let's talk new skills.
Well, the Blade Dancer get any new skills? I see that it has 3+1 mastery skill compared to Falconer 4+1 exclusive skill. Yeah. We don't have a fixed minimum number of abilities per class or mastery even. But we do have like general plans to work more on the abilities that are less work more on abilities for masteries that have fewer abilities.
Give him a second. Give him a second. He'll get there.
So I think in general, you'll start to see that happen, that shift happen. But I don't want to say specifically like I'm not saying that we are specifically working on a Blade Dancer ability right now. Like there's other classes that fit into that same category. Like Shaman.
Yep.
And Marksman.
Yep.
And Base Rogue. And
Lich. And Paladin. Now, I know, Mike, the reason why I wanted to put this in the video is because last update, Cycle 2 Harbingers of Ruin, did not have any new skills in it. And Mike specifically said that this is the first time he thinks that there was a major update that did not have new skills, and next update will have new skills. So I'm hoping for plural new skills, likely for those masteries next update. Our weekly set question.
Any plans for set items to get LP?
Every week.
This should be the center square on the bingo. No, there's no plans for LP to go on to set items. We have a very
oh my gosh, I didn't catch that previously. Mike said I should make it the center square on bingo. That's pretty funny. The center square is Mike dies.
Distinct separate plan for set items. That's going to make them like a fun and interesting choice. It's been something we've been talking about for a really long time, and it feels like it's never going to happen. It will happen. Just got to find the right time to work it in. It's also why we've kind of stalled on adding new sets to the game until that happens. Because it's going to have a really big impact on existing sets and how they're designed and how they fit into the overall system of build crafting and things like that. So it's going to be pretty well. They all went exalted. Wow, that's cool.
Set question continues.
Can you say anything about the planned set rework? Any chance that's coming up the next cycle? No, it's not coming the next cycle. It hasn't been started on at all, other than design. And I've said all I can say about it. Sorry.
Not anytime soon. At this point in the stream, Mike gets permission to discuss loot lizards.
Okay, so I have been told I can say what loot lizards are. Loot lizards will appear randomly throughout the game as you're playing. You'll come across them, you'll stumble upon them just sitting there, and once they are engaged in combat, they will run away from you and drop gold on the ground as they run. And once you do eventually kill them, they will drop a bunch of loot. And there's different types of them, and they'll drop different types of loot. Yeah, you also don't actually ever kill them. They can't actually be killed because we thought they were too cute and adorable to actually kill. So they do escape every time, but they leave behind. They lighten their load in order to be able to escape. So you still get their stuff.
There you go. There's going to be multiple kinds of them. These are also a permanent addition coming September 19th. Loot lizards. Clans.
Clans/guilds, any info? No info, sorry. I think that's something that we are coming around to as a more positive thing soon. But we don't have any info on when.
That's all he says about it, but I wanted to include that in this week's video because they're warming up to it. Moving on to idols.
Okay, are we getting tiers for idols or better story system? We've been talking about idols a lot lately. There's nothing really in the immediate future on changing how that functions, but we're definitely looking at how we can improve that system overall. Because there's some unfortunate stuff happening with them right now. It's kind of one of those last bastions of ways to optimize builds, and the tools to do that are not great.
Sounds like changes coming soon. Huge win for the EHG team.
Is the cycle refresh with Steam Deck verified improvements also when the new engine version comes? No, it's still in the old version.
Wait for it.
We like just today actually. Well, in 42 minutes, we're officially switching over our internal development to the new engine.
Every single week we are putting this bug in Mike's ear. We are just gonna will it into existence. Barbarian.
Warrior/Barbarian/Berserker class when? Yeah, that's a pretty common request. That gets brought up as like the fourth Primalist suggestion pretty frequently.
Yes.
Barbarian is usually what people call it, but yeah, Berserker, Warrior class. Warrior sometimes has that sword and board plate wielder vibe to it, so it probably wouldn't be called Warrior if we did something like that. Personally, I prefer the Barbarian Berserker type feel, like a wild man, woodsman, huntsman,
a Viking
type style. But you know, we haven't actually officially announced any specifics on what the first Fallout classes are going to be.
But you could say Barbarian. All right, everyone. Unfortunately, we have come to the final question for Dev Chat 147. Mike, as always, thank you for continuing your Fridays live streams. The community truly appreciates it. This last question is going to be about the update coming September 19th, and specifically stash tabs. It is my guess that we are getting a form of stash tab affinities, something that you would see inside of Path of Exile. And Mike, in this answer to this question, says it is likely exactly what you think it is. And that's what we all think it is. So for me, that's like him kind of saying it is coming. Now, before I let Mike answer this question, please like, share, and subscribe if you think I have earned it. Check out my Discord. We're approaching 4,200 members. We have a game giveaway every single 2 weeks. We're the unofficial voice channel for Last Epoch. Awesome place to hang out. We do tons of community events. Check out my Discord. Best way to support is Patreon. We have game night coming up next week. We're all going to be playing V Rising together because we have an action RPG server. So check out the Patreon. It is the best way to support into the future. I'm done. I'm going to let Mike take it away with stash tabs.
Will there be a video explaining the upcoming event / update? Probably not. There's like a few details on some of those options in the announcement, but like the bulk of the information's there. Like there's some specifics. I would assume, I don't know, but I would assume there's going to be some posts going into some more specifics on what some of those things mean. Like I know the stash one, people are kind of like, what does that mean? The stash priority system. Did we talk about that already? It's gonna dramatically reduce the amount of time you spend at your stash each time. And it's exactly what everyone thinks it is. Haha, you're off your spot. Deal with it.